The average American has $90,000 in debt. Here's how much debt Americans have at every age. This is a CNBC Dateline October 19th. This is interesting because when I read this, I said, I was sucked in. I said, oh man, that sounds horrible. But then you read it, you're like, oh, that's not so bad. So let's just check this out. This is actually a good article for what it typically is. That you don't have to jump off a bridge. All right. Dateline October 19th by Megan DiMatteo. And of course, I always like to read who the authors are because it gives me a point. She's a money writer at CNBC. Before joining CNBC, she covered personal finance at Business Insider. Okay. So at least we don't see if she's a big lib. I don't know. But if you're a journalism professional, you probably are. Boy, see, this one I'm talking about. Just everyone, I feel bad for these guys. That's just a Getty image. That's just a stock photo. But this isn't good, man. It's not good. You gotta work on. We gotta watch what we eat. Is all there is to it. Some guy actually posted comment. He goes, "Oh, it'll get you when you're 60." He said essentially this. What he's saying is once you're 60, you can't stop the rock that you're gonna get heavy. I said, well, that doesn't make sense because the previous generations they weren't fat. My granddad wasn't fat. You know what I'm saying? My grandma wasn't fat. It's what we eat, myself included. I can tell right now I'm getting a little bit I can feel it in my face that I'm not eating that great. It's just, you can tell, man. It's the crap you eat. It's not if you're 60. It's not if you're 20. It's the crap you eat. And so if you're going to use the excuse, well, I'm 60, I can't stop. I'm getting fat. That's the wrong answer. It's bad. You got to nip that in the bud ASAP. Me too. Look, I mean, I got a little chin there. I don't like it, but to I don't know, romanticize it like, oh, I'm 60, I'm getting fat. No, no, no. That's an excuse. We all got it. We're all in this together, my friends. We're all in this together to watch the crap we put in our bodies. All right, so let's, in our efforts to keep up the Joneses, debt has become a normalized part of the American lifestyle. Okay. That's always been a normalized part of the American lifestyle for the last at least probably two generations. Borrowing money is an important part of a long-term plan. Okay. However, debt also involves a little risk and can be expensive. Not only do you pay interest and fees, borrowing of any kind requires you to make your payments in time in order to keep your account and credit score in good standing. It's not uncommon for consumers to make a few common mistakes while learning how credit works and establishing lifelong money habits. That's why knowledge is important. All right, so using data from 2019 Experian, which is a credit bureau, we looked at how much debt the average American has at every stage of their lives, breaking it down by total balances and type. Now, again, the average is always somewhat misleading. The median is better, but we're going to go with it because that's what the article says. Well, the average American has $90,000 in debt. This includes all type of consumer debt products. That's the critical thing. It includes all types of consumer debt products, from credit cards to personal loans to mortgages and student debt. Let's see. Here's the average debt balances by age group. So Generation Z, basically $10,000. So that's going to be the folks 18 to 23 who are in college, most likely. Millennials, age 24 to 39, about 78,000. So when I was 18 to 23, I don't know how. I was 92, 90. Yeah, no, 88 to 93. I don't know how much debt I had. That's probably around that. Millennials, we had our first house in Phoenix. We owed a little bit more than that. We owed 95,000 on it. So again, that was 20 odd years ago. Yeah, 22 years ago. So we're have higher than that. Gen X, when I was 40, that's where I am now. I'm significantly higher than that because I got a big fat mortgage. Babe, see, but look at that. Notice, what do you see? Grows, goes down. So why would you say I need 10 times my salary right here when you can see that baby boomers and silent generation, the amount of debt goes down? And as such, the amount of debt goes down, the amount of pay it requires to service that debt goes down. So why, if you're living on 100,000 now and you're Gen X with your mortgages and your kids and your student loans and your car payments, blah, 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 why do you need the same amount of income now as you do later on when the debt goes down dramatically and you're going to pay it off? You don't need the same amount of money to serve that debt. All right, so according to Experian, consumers in the oldest age categories have seen a significant decrease in debt since 2015 because they're paying it down and then it gets paid off. And then what happens when that debt gets paid down and paid off? Well, they're still making the same amount of money as going to savings, or they can reduce the amount of income they need. Meanwhile, millennials have seen the largest increase in debt in the last 5 years. Well, that would make sense because they're getting older, they're buying houses. The youngest consumers have the lowest overall debt balance, but they struggle most to make the payments because they're not making any money if they even have a job. Gen X has the highest credit card balance as compared to other age groups, $8,200. Gen X, is that me? Am I Gen X? Yeah, Gen X. Well, that makes sense because we have more income. All right, we have the kids, more income, and we're going to have more debt. More kids, more income, more debt. We have the most high auto balance at 21,000. Mortgages, we also have the highest average mortgage at 238,000. So if you have a mortgage and you're my generation and you have a $250,000 mortgage, it's not so bad, man. Not so bad. Personal loans, baby boomers have the highest personal loan balance. Oosh, oh, that's weird. $19,000. Why would be? Student loans, Gen X have the highest amount of student debt, an average of $40,000. And of course, we also have the highest amount of home equity lines. So basically, my generation is the most indebted, and that just makes sense. I guarantee if you did this 20 years ago, it'd be baby boomers. If you did it 20 years ago, it'd be the silent generation. Do it 20 years now, it's going to be Gen Zs. Actually, Gen Z is what? 18 to 23. Okay, well, that's my daughter, Gen Z. All right, Experian offers. Okay, so Experian offers a free credit account. Okay, well, that's a pretty good article. Good stuff, man. I like that. That's kind of articles I like to see because they're just saying, hey, this is the facts, and they're not scaring you. Initially, I said, oh, I thought they were going to talk about consumer debt. Consumer debt is auto loans, credit cards, and you got a thing over at Aaron's rent-to-own thing. This is everything. So that's a lot more illuminating and positive than I would have given CNBC credit for reporting. That's good stuff. All right. Put your comments in there if you agree. You don't have to tell us what your debt level, but say, yeah, that makes sense. All right, we'll see you.